This is your weekend market recap for Friday, August 5th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your weekend market recap for Friday, August 5th, 2022. Hopefully you had a great week. Another great week for the Discord room, friends, family, everybody involved. I appreciate y'all. Say that enough. I really do appreciate all the love and support. Let's get into it. Again, interesting week. Expecting seasonal weakness. First 3 days of the month are over. Window dressing, markups are all over. Now we get into the teeth and grunt of August, which, if you're not familiar with, is typically bearish. A lot going on. Today's jobs numbers were very interesting because a lot of the jobs were temporary and seasonal workers, and it's very reminiscent of what feels like March 2020 had a big jobs beat right before the market started to get pummeled. Anyway, at this point, if you have questions, stop by the Discord room. Link is in the description below. Again, this room is meant for traders who have experience but needing to develop that edge, refine it, and make sure that they're doing the things that get them to win versus gamble and lose and overtrade and just do the things that just don't win. Yes, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Talked about it. It's looking more and more like an M formation. You really got to break down trying to start going higher. These days of just backfilling and just, I don't know, doesn't look good. I mean, upside near term, I mean, I'm going to say the same thing about gold and silver as well. They look like they're stuck. Look like they're absolutely stuck in the mud. They should be rising, inflation, all sorts of things going on in the world. And when something's not working as it should, you got to be very, very, very careful. Oil. Talked about breaking the 94s. I honestly thought we were going to pop. And again, that's the thing. Probability trader, no question that you have the abilities to be wrong. It's just whether you do what. Keep your losses small. We had some losses, not a big deal. Kept them small. Anticipated what? Thought we'd break out, probably pop up to 104 to 102. You got up there, then you just backed right off, and then you broke below it. Still expecting $65, $70 price range at some point. Why, how, when, I don't know. Again, demand destruction, bear market tendencies, all these things will be in play. It really is that simple. A lot of people, or what? They're thinking a lot of things when it comes to trading, in a sense that I really think a lot of people don't understand how demand destruction and recession potential does what. Near term, it just pushes oil down. I mean, we know there's a shortage. We know there's a ton of issues. So, all right, come on, charts. Let's load them up. Let's do this. All right, where do we typically start, right? The TLT. Look at AMC. That is crazy. Trash is floating up. Let's start with AMC, actually, because trash in general floats last up when a market's about to flip. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's all I was going to say. TLT. Bottom of the channel in the 20-day. If you've been taking profits, and again, you trade around a position. We talked about getting up to the 100-day range lows. I anticipated going higher, but guess what? It didn't. But luckily took some profits up here. Now looking to add down here today. Great opportunity. It's just, I think ultimately, again, in a recession, what happens? What? Rates go lower. Keep that in mind. Now, could they go higher later? I think so, because I think this is one of those recessions where inflation just is anchoring. We're going to have what's considered stagflation. Really hard to find, this charting format to find what I think is going to happen. If I had to guess, we are in this phase where the TLT pops, and then it drops, and it goes ripping higher, and yields go lower. So it's a good insurance policy when the market goes nuts. The dollar, actually surprised at strength, but not surprised because we talked about what? Long term, we said what? The end of the dollar is a rocket to the moon, then down if that's what's going to happen. But we also talked about hitting up in the range highs, right? On the monthly, check it out, check. Said watch the blue zone, you bounce, now you're back to the 20-day. Does it come back and retest? I don't know, let me tear this off. Probably possible, folks. Now again, the hardest thing about trading is predicting every single day. We talk about that all the time. And now what? We're back up. We're starting to rebuild. Dollar strength, market weakness. Be aware. The VIX, you're welcome. We got the VIX termination on Friday. Oh my goodness. Like literally VIX terminated. We talk about double bottoms. A lot of people were like, oh, got to short this first bounce in the market. Hit the 200-day, backed off. Now, if you want to buy puts, you want to start shorting, cheaper options. I give you the blessing to do such with what? The caveat that you be safe. You buy the right options. Do not buy crazy, stupid options that are going to do what? Go to zero if you're wrong. Know your limits. Know what you're doing. Be smart. If you're not familiar with how options work, let me bring you into the Discord room again, because that's where there is tons of information in the side channels. Maybe I need to start talking about it more, but we have the options chat, my 17 rules to trading options. Now again, there's a million ways to skin a cat, as they say, or whatever you want to call it. It's a terrible analogy from the past. Yeah, there's a million ways to do things, but that's my idea was what? First of the month, window dressing. We talked about this over and over and over. Please be careful. I mean, go review the videos talking about the first of the month, the retest, the retest, the retest. Here you go. Here's the retest. First couple days of the month should bounce. Again, we're not out of a bear market. Anyone who's telling you that, run away. Buy your uranium, buy your gold. No, you don't. The market's about to turn. All right, here we go. Top formations, novice gaps, chop. Notice yesterday was a doji. Today we gap down, open at the lows, close near the highs. Now people would say, well, it's a green candle, it's bullish. Yes and no. You couldn't make higher highs. The volumes were low. But let me show you why and how we think tops form. How, sometimes they don't always have a ton of volume. That's what's so hard. Let's use the left arrow. Let's edit this thing. Let's change the color to blue. Close. Let's set this as the default. All right. Now what? Right? Like what is ultimately the play? How do you spot tops, right? Take some notes here. All right, straight line move, chop, new high. You see it there? Let me zoom these open. I apologize. It's like, here, sit down and watch this, but you can't see anything. Oops. No. Here you go. Little higher high, flop. Gap and go. I mean, it's a small gap. Let me see if I can open it up even more. You can see it. There you go. Yep. Gap and then go. Gap and go. Notice around the first of the month of January. Let's play this game again, folks. I mean, again, this is the weekend recap. It's going to be a little longer. Here you go. Up into the first of the month. Novice gap. Professional gap down. Then you had a double top. And then look, you had this gap down again during August and then lower. Top. Novice gap. You see it right here, right? Novice gap. Pop. Flop. Well, what's up, cat? How you doing? Now what, right? Where are we? God, this is a lot of lines. Straight line move. Novice gap. Pop. Another novice gap. Up at the highs. Again, because pro gaps, you would continue higher. Like, here's a professional gap. You just start in the rip, right? Novice, pop, come back. Pop, a little bit, come back. So think of this as rubber band man theory, getting real tired. Now you're into your resistance zone. Now what? I personally think next week it should get uglier, and if it chops and holds up, that's okay too, because it could be choppy, sloppy before it starts. One of the things now that we need to see to confirm this, take notes. Again, we need a professional gap. I want to see this gap that starts the move down, right? Gap that starts the move down. Notice you can back up, right? Gap right there, mini back gap that starts the move, okay? And sometimes it can be a bigger gap. We don't know. Now, what's going to cause the gap? Your guess is as good as mine. Now, there's a lot of theories going on. What could it be? I personally love when the market goes down on good news, because it's been going up on bad news, right? I don't want to see a one-off headline like China this or China that, and they don't do anything. What I want to see is what? The market just sell off quietly. No one knows what's going on. Everybody's been told what? Oh my God, the market's going higher. You just got conditioned. Because keep in mind, at the lows, everyone's bearish, and they're wrong. At the highs, everybody's bullish, and they're wrong. Do you see how this works? Sentiment has now flipped. Bears are gone. Bears have been wiped out. The market just rose what? Like, 15% in their face. FaceTime, they got totally shredded, right? Now what? Now you're gonna see over the weekend, bull market starting. If you have more than a 50% correction off the lows, it's bullish. I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of stupid headlines. The market, the economy didn't get fixed, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're down a straight line move. We talk about this all the time. A bear market is more of a trader's market. Dan, how can you be sure it's bearish? And we talked about sustaining under the 20-month. You can never sustain below it. You always get below it and pop. Now what? You are below it. You're bouncing back. We've said maybe you could get up in this 424 area. Who knows? My personal belief, again, the bull market's over. Notice this, down chop, down chop. At some point, there will be the straight line move. I'll show you how it works. Go back. Let's go back to the monthly of. Here you go. Top, lower high, 20-month, backed off, boink, fail. Here was July. That was August. Now, could we have a tight candle? Maybe. But there you go, September, October, November. Whee! Down to March. Point being what? Just be safe. It's a bear market. If you have all your if you have not raised any cash in any of your stock portfolios, man, you, my friend, are just living dangerously. Because I think a lot of people don't realize what? This is a huge move, folks. This is a huge market move. Huge. Like, here's a bull market from, 2003 to 2009, 7. Nice and smooth. Pulls back, rip, boop, and then you go. This has been a huge, absolutely monster move. Monster moves do what? They precede the end of the move. Talked about the dollar, the straight line move. This is what I mean, the straight line move. I mean, look at that. 215 up to 484 on the SPY in 2 years. If you don't think that there's a monster correction coming, ultimately, now again, that doesn't mean tomorrow, next week, then you, my friend, are the sucker. And that's just how it is. The QQQs, check this out. Straight line move. Remember, not even close to the 20-month. Here again, chop, 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 bam. Keep in mind, the Qs went from 120 down to $20 a share. Do the math on that. Absolute destruction. Here you go, straight line move. Starting to pull back, stair step down at some point. Notice how we use the monthly as the reference. Said 320s, possibly, maybe in 330. I don't know. Now what? Again, they die on light volume. Keep in mind, like the bear market rallies die on light volume. Look at the volume, dying on the vines, progressively lower, right? Like, I mean, you can maybe, if you're a visual person, you need to see it. Here's the bottom. Notice the volume. That's just how it is. Now what? Again, same kind of thing. Big green. Here, I was talking to this, showed people to this. So here's your novice gap, chop, big green. Look at that, and then fail. Novice gap, double novice gap, left, right, pivot. I know it's a green candle again, but look, gap down, and you closed what? Right below the previous candle's low of the day. Not bullish. I know it's green. Oh, green candle. It's got to be bullish. Green candle, got to be bullish. Green candle. Got to be bullish. So look at here. Novice gap, chop, and then fail. 4 days up. Gap, outside reversal. Pop, fail. How many days? I don't know. A week maybe? Again, we've been really trying to be patient about this. The hardest thing about trading sometimes, and what did I say? Break out of this little channel and then touch up. I mean, we're literally at great prices to start. Could it go slightly higher? Maybe. I mean, if you really want to draw in everybody going, oh, you broke the downtrend, we're going higher. Maybe those folks, maybe that needs to happen. We don't know. I mean, that's why, again, if you are all in short, I don't think that's the play. I think it is just to be patient, start layering in, Did some yesterday, added some today. Got bullets to fire if ready. Cannon is loaded. Finger on the trigger. Ready. Let me pop my gun, see if you can hear it. Locked, loaded. So, anyway, on that note, IWM. that guy's crazy. He has a pistol on his hip. No, it's in my office. IWM, we talked about leading down the bottom first, now leading up. Broke the trend line. Oh, it's got to be bullish. Is that right? I don't know. So now what? It's probably topping first. Look at this candle. Look at this candle. Light volume. Look at the anomaly. Big candle, light volume. Open low, close high. Does it look literally like this? Now again, here we go. Repeating patterns. If you're not watching these videos and picking up on this stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Here you go. Another kind of big green before it drops. Do you see this? See how the market just traps folks? It gets them real confident because they know you're looking at the colors. They know you're colorblind. Like if you see green up days, it's got to be bullish. Yeah, that kind of went bonkers there. But anyway, do you see the last three had open, low, close, high, green bars followed by what? Just more information. I still think, again, we're not in a bull market, folks. Check out the IWM. Way under the 20-month. Now I know it happened here with COVID. Look where we've come from. Where'd you go? Joe. 34 up to 244. That, my friend, is a bull market. Here again, straight line move. Months of top. I mean, it's like a whole year, right? January. Yeah, Feb. Yeah, a whole year to top out. Awesome. Talk about patience. Be careful. UVXY, told you guys to stop buying this piece of crap ETF. We'll be there when it's ready. It's just not ready. You notice how the retest, man. Think about the VIX. We talked about retesting. It always makes a slightly lower low. Well, here you go. You should have waited. I don't know if I have to walk this out for everybody, but hopefully they study the past. Again, if you're trading stuff and your trading parameter is based on the daily chart and you're zoomed in, you have the 3-month daily, wrong. Always start on the monthly, y'all, and then work your way in. You'll see the repeating formations. And then once you get on the daily and weekly, you start looking at the candles and you go, well, okay, this has a tendency to do this and this has a tendency to do that. Gold. What did I tell y'all? I said 166s were the highs. Oh, it got to 167.30. Went a little higher. Said, please watch the 50-day. If you can't get over it, Now what? It gaps down. I don't like this because it looks like an island floating reversal. Island, meaning island like it's gapped away on its own. Gapped away on its own and then fail. Gapped away on its own and failed. Gold friends. I am a long-term gold trader. I'm telling you, this is not the best time to buy it. Review every video. The best time to buy this stuff, if you're in a bear market, is when? The puke of the bear market. Baby goes out with the bath water. Said that a million times. I know what we're in. A big cup and handle. Do not be surprised at some point you test the 50-month. Baby out with the bath water. It goes. All goes. Okay? Trying to be nice about this, but if you are trying to be a contrarian, gold is not holding up with inflation. Why? Because everything gets sold. Oil's not holding up with inflation. Everything gets sold. Uranium's not holding up with inflation. It all gets sold. Say it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, again, I like all that stuff long term. But you don't want to be early because you don't know how painful it's going to be. You really don't. Because, again, the people who actually pretend that this is like, it's not a big deal. Just, hold on. We'll get there when we get there. And it's like, what happens if the whole system that you're thinking with, say, miners, producers, they get absolutely clobbered because of a bear market. Say they have credit issues. Say they can't get funding. Say there's a lockout. Say there's a government intervention. There's a billion reasons to lay off miners, producers, in between the bottom. Unreal. Silver, same thing. Said, thought your upside was like 19. Got real close, rolling over. AG, hey, look at that, holding up. I mean, this thing has gotten beat the crap. We talked about watching the upper range. It failed. Now, if you got out here, thank you. Leave it to God. Leave it alone. Leave it alone, God. Please, just please let it go. Let it come back. Again, bear market. Bottom. Wait for this to bottom. You are so close. AEM. Like this one. Check the volume. Check it out. The volume at the lows. Gap will fill at some point. Why? I don't know. Just that's the nature of the beast. Monthly again, somewhere in the 30s. Newmont said leave it the freak alone. Nobody does it. What is going on? Nope, what we thought. Just get back down here. Get down to the monthly channel. Probably breaks it because it's Newmont and they suck. Did I say that out loud? I was just thinking that in my brain. Did that just leak out of my mouth? I think so. I wouldn't buy Newmont for the next gold bull market. They're a legacy miner. That's probably going to have to buy Junior. Oh, we didn't even do junior miners. Said these were the best acting off the lows because of the action. Got over the 20-day. Yeah, look at that versus the GDX. Ugh, GDX, crap. Sideways. I apologize if I didn't do them earlier. GDX, again, when's the best time to buy miners? When the bear market capitulates. Said it a million times. Look, I mean, even think about gold, how well it's acting. And the GDX went from 55 down to a whopping 15. Nah, I mean, I'm just trying to get you to see the point, right? I mean, the miners corrected, didn't they? Again, credit crunch, recession issues, you never know, fear, greed, everything goes crazy. Are we there yet? No, I mean, I'm still thinking we could sneak out a 16. I don't know. And again, ultimately, I don't know anything for certain, but this is crap. This is a terrible baby bounce with the market. GDXJ acted much better. Again, when's the best time to buy it? When the bear market capitulates. I don't like this action chopping and floating here. It needs to start going. Anyway, back to Newmont, which sucks. Oh, did I say it again out loud? I can't. Man, my mouth. Got no control over it today. Again, it probably breaks the monthly trend line. See you in the 30s. Anyone remember us telling you to sell up here? Nobody remembers. Because watch these videos from April. We're like, please take profits. Well, if you didn't, 87 down to 44, maybe down to 30. Oh, that looks like a bear market. Does it not? Does it not? Does it not? I don't know what to tell you folks. So, I mean, just, I don't know. Whatever. Pass. Again, pass on the metals and miners. Pass on uranium. Pass on all materials until what? The Feds pivot. Anyone who says the Feds are pivoting, laugh at them, argue with them, tell them they're silly because of the media told them. Get that noose out, tie the knot, hang themselves by their own ears, literally listening to the stupid news. Oh, the news really gives out great financial information, doesn't it? If that is the one thing that you listen to make your decisions, I can guarantee your how well you're doing in trading. I can bet you don't make money. I can guarantee that if you just follow the news. Well, in a bull market, you made great money, but in a bear market, you're going to get slobbered. And again, in a bull market, you can throw darts. A monkey. I mean, they did those studies about monkeys throwing darts at stock tickers and how they perform versus the S&P 500 and other professional stock pickers, and they found out they did equally the same. Double top, pass. Wait for the channel low. All right, here are the names that I do like, some long-term, but don't chase them. We'll talk about long-term targets. Again, anything in the 16. I even said what? Maybe even back down to 10. Keep in mind, the bull market for commodities, look at this thing did. It acted like a tech stock. 10 up to 200. Do you like that? How you like that? Yeah, wait for it. I'm telling you, don't be early on these names because you never know. One of them might blow up. Might take the whole sector down. Maybe it is U.S. Steel and it blows up and Nucor comes back to 60 or 40 or who knows. Again, I'd not be surprised if it's, here you go, the blue zone. Oh my God, 30s? No way. I'd probably not, but if it does happen. Again, in a bear market, look here what happens. 84 down to that level. I mean, let's be real here since this is acting much better. I would say somewhere, I mean the 70s. Love these companies. Not now. CCJ. Oh my God, you gotta buy uranium. No, you don't. 16 to 18 range. I've said come back down here. So look at all the support. Look at all the support. Again, it can do this and then it goes nowhere. Well, guess what? You're in like this choppy phase and people are gonna say you're crazy. Buy uranium now. You have to buy it. You have to hold it. All right, here's what happened in 2008. 55 down to 11. Are you seeing a pattern here? Because I'm going to go through all of them and do this for you. You know, do you like to lose 80%? Well, what's 80% from 33? I mean, I'm not saying it's going to get $6 or $7, but 16. I mean, even if you just wait, if you just have, I mean, if you pick up one thing from this whole video, just wait. Do not be early picking the bottoms in these things because we have not hit panic. Let me just show you what panic looks like, just for you newer folks. Panic looks like VIX spikes up into the 90s, 80s, even the 40s. We haven't even gotten to the 40s yet, folks. Haven't even gotten to the 40s yet. 38. We have not capitulated. Anyone who tells you that, just scream in their face. Just, yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong. But anyway, again, the Scott bottom, I think you'll probably get back to 10, 11. I mean, again, in a bear market, VALE went, oh my God, 44 down to 9 for these companies. Bear market for them. But but this was interesting because look at this. This had no, like, it literally peaked in 2008 and then made a lower high. I don't know. We'll see. Is this the lower high? Is this the lower high? I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's Brasilia. It's Brazil. It's Bragida. Arrow, copper name. Man, this thing is wide and loose all over the place. Still, I like all this stuff long term. Again, we're building out the future. You need what? Technology needs inputs, mate. Don't know that. Throw some more copper on the barbie. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's plenty of potential here. I get it. I just don't want to be early. Do you get it? You get it? Got it? Good. Great. Mosaic. Company had decent earnings. Popped, flop. Show the weekly, month. I mean, I don't even want to show the weekly. Let's just show you the monthly. Here you go. Man, I barely pulled back before 2008. But look at the run up from the 2000s. Whee! Where are we? Oh, probably got to hold this trend line somewhere in the 40s and 50s. I mean, put these all on your shopping list. Pick out a basket of commodities. Just like if you would have owned tech for the last 10 years, you did way better than anything else. Buy yourself a create your commodity list. Build it from mine. I don't care. CF, we said this was acting better because look. Volume, price, analysis. When you have the volume and you have the price, you should get the analysis. No, I'm just kidding. You should get the action. Multiple bottoms chopping, popping up the trend line. Something's funky here. Do you smell it? Again, it's pretty binary. If it breaks out with volume, good. If not, failure to rise, coming right back down, right back down. So just keep an eye on it. Again, all these names are better than what we're about to load into the short cycle. Speaking of shorts, AMD. Goldman Sachs comes out today, raises their price target. Love it. If you don't know what it's called the Buddy Pass. It's when brokerages upgrade stock so that they can what? Sell them to their clients. If you bought this in the 70s and now it's up here into our target range, now you're buying. No. Time to sell. If you don't know what happens during a semiconductor bear market, you can see absolute castration. 49 down to 4. What is this? 41 down to penny stock land. Could AMD lose 90% of its value? I don't know. Things always happen. Things go wrong. Nothing is certain. That's all I can tell you on that. Backing up to the 20-month. Look at all the resistance here. If you can't see this, let me draw it for you. There you go. Back in to the range. Probably going to fail. Again, the Buddy Pass. It's so funny. Hey, Goldman, upgrade the stock so we can do what? All of our other broker friends can sell to our clients. We can dump our stocks. JP Morgan's like, yeah. Take Goldman's recommendation. You guys buy our stock. I mean, it's such a racket. Remember, the market's meant to take your money, not to give it. SMH started shorting this in the 242 to 245 range. Could it get up to 250? Yeah, sure. But I'm looking at the chop top. Again, gap down, closed. Look at the volume just dying. Buy the rumor, sell the news. The CHIPS Act is over. Oh, it broke the downtrend. Perfect. Even more bullish to what? Go lower. Check out the monthly because that's what we do at the end of the week. Look, this is just insane. Parabolic. I mean, I remember right, 2008 lows, 13, all the way up to 320. This is a semiconductor index. This is not a meme stock. This is an ETF, 13 to 320. You don't think there's a bubble? Then I don't know what to tell you. Short, short, short. Now where? I mean, again, watch for what? Chop top or what? Straight line fail. I like the stretchy straight line fail up with the chop top. So, I mean, what day does it fail? I don't know. What's the news? I don't know. IBM. This one's been acting up great. Talked about it in a bear market in November. The bear market started. This is holding up. Keep this on your watch list. If you can be bullish anything, just it's acting better. Let's just run through all of these. Zameta. Talked about it. Need to bounce. Watch the 155. 155 breaks. Adios. They announced $10 billion bond issuance. That's not the action you want to see. A lower high with a pin bar. I mean, you can't even see it. And close at the low. Not ideal. Keep in mind, watch tech. Watch tech, watch tech, watch tech. Okay? Because what I want you to do is watch tech. Because if it's led up and it starts cracking, McCracken, you got to be getting a rolling. Apple. What do we say? Up to the top of the range. High volume candles. Love to retest. Here you go. Up to the top of the range. Big green, doji, gap down. Oh my God, but it's green. No, but is it really? No. You gap up. You gap down, close. Again, it's green. I see that. Be aware. This is starting to what? Get tired, in my opinion. Buy back all the stock you want. Bad investment. Microsoft, put this on your short list. Absolute short, short, short. They are been screaming about what? The dollar, the dollar, the dollar is an issue, right? So now what? Let's zoom out. Said what? You could probably get up to, I mean, I didn't think 290. I thought somewhere around, 289, sure, whatever. This blue box. Look at this thing. Chop, 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 pop. Chop, 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 pop. Up to the trend line. Oh, let's get over the trend line. Let's get everyone real bullish. When you break a trend, here's a story. Get a pen. Again, take notes. You want to break downtrends with volume. When you don't, you have to be very suspect of them. Okay? Especially for Microsoft. Here's a breaking a downtrend with volume. Example. See this right here? Look at the head and shoulders top. That, my friend, is breaking a downtrend with volume. Remember Apple? Let's just bounce around. Again, it's the weekend recap. We do what we want. Watch the 165s. Short the absolute crap out of this thing with a stop. Caveat, stop. Now, again, I did not give you advice. Talk to your financial advisor. Do your own homework. Here we go. Microsoft, Mr. Softy, right? The monthly. Look at this stock. Pennyland, 15 to 353. You're on the backside of Mount Everest, but if you like to ski and you like steepness, well, here you go. Back to the 20 month. You can see maybe sometimes how clean it is on the monthly where you close. This is my short zone, okay? Real simple. They talked about in the conference call the dollar hurt sales. Well, guess what? Dollar's going higher. It's going to hurt sales. Becomes a de facto dollar short indirectly. Or dollar long. Or a hedge. Oh, God, I can't speak. If the dollar's going higher, people will short this. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, Apple, we already talked about it. Meta. Roblox, 49.91. Hey, didn't I say we'd get it into the 50 area? 49.91. Nope, Dan, you didn't get it. Oh, but you didn't take any profit. I don't know if it gets there on Monday. This is so funny because I've seen this happen a billion times. Sometimes you can short arm a trade. You think it's getting to 50 and it just gets to 49.49 or 49.91. What happens next? I don't know, but I would be taking profits. Tesla, another split. Okay, if you know the story of a man named Brady, if you know the story of tech stocks who oversplit in the 90s, you know they absolutely got crushed. Why are splits ultimately bad if you do too many of them? You dilute the share value. You dilute the number of shares, meaning like all of a sudden there's only 1 million shares. Now you've done multiple splits. Now there's 20 million shares. It's the same thing as coins. You want something more rare. Look at Berkshire Hathaway. How many splits has Berkshire's A and B shares done? Not to my knowledge, a single one. I could be wrong on the B shares. I don't pay attention. But point being is Buffett knows what? Buffett's a smart guy. You don't split your stock. You know why? Why? Oh, you need to make it more available to the retail clients. No, retail clients are not going to be the ones you're trying to get the stock to. You're not appealing to the retail masses if you want your stock to go higher. You want it to institutions. You start splitting the stock. Now you have way too much share float out there. Now everybody who bought 100 shares has 1,000 shares now. And guess what they're going to do with partial amounts? They're going to sell them every time. They're going to go, oh, I want to get back to 500 shares. That's what happens. And then they start selling. It creates its own selling back, wave. We talked about the 930s. Look at that. Starting to pull back. What is today? Professional gap. Professional gap. That's considered a professional. Not really, no. Professional gap. Do you see this reoccurring theme? Professional gap. For the love of God, if you own Tesla for the long run, just get used to. You might. Honestly, I've said this a million times. I think it's a double-digit stock. Well, now after the 3-for-1 split, it might be a low to mid double-digit stock, meaning like $20 to $50 stock. People will argue this till you're red in the face, thinking that they can't lose. Because again, fundamentals matter. Here's a stock that's doing great, EXPI. Look at the monthly. Once you go steep, you don't come back always. We'll see. Love the company. Think we're doing great things. Talked about buying it down here. Now you're up in the 15s. I don't know what to tell you. UTHR. This is not acting well. We've talked about this. W bottom. Volume price analysis. You had the puke. Now you had the absorption. Double bottom. Rallied. Popped. Pulled back to the breakout. And now what? It is absolutely lagging the XBI. Not good, folks. Not good. Speaking of XBI, people are talking about shorting this as a proxy for shorting the market. I agree. Absolutely. This will get murdered at some point. You're up to the 200-day. How does this typically end? Green candles. Green candles. Big green fails. Big green fails. The big green fail machine. Here, I'll just draw it out for you. Or outside reversals. Here, let me just do all of the fun, because this thing gets really crazy at the tops and bottoms. Big green outside reversal. Catching my drift here. Now what? I mean, 200-day, maybe even get it to the 95 level. I mean, everyone's going nuts, and I like to see the volume expand if it's going to go higher, but I still think at some point, if the bear market continues, this is your zone. Check out the monthly. Keep in mind, this thing's gotten bloody beaten. 174 down to 60, bounce, fail. I mean, this thing, when did IPO? I remember that now. Let me zoom back out. 23 down to 14. I don't know. Again, the hardest thing, 2008, yeah. The hardest thing about baby bios is what? They need money. They burn cash. They burn cash like a kid with an ATM machine or with an ATM and credit card. They're just going to burn it. At this point, I don't know. I don't know the upside, but I feel like you're coming into downside zones. Here you go. Let's just zoom it out. Again, when in doubt, start on the monthly. Here's the top of that. Interesting. Maybe here. I don't know. 97. Maybe 100. There you go. I mean, just be safe, okay? Be absolutely safe, because momentum can drag things much higher than they should go. Remember, we talk about that all the time. USO, we talked about 79.80 fail. Nice work. If you shorted it, I am not there. It looks like it's probably going to hold the 200-day at some point. Let's get into UNG and just rip through these. I don't really have any. Again, I feel like it should have gone higher. That action, I don't know. Maybe you get back up here. It should. It takes up M tops, but if the market starts peeling, nothing's safe. Natural gas could get slammed too. If you played it down here, bought at 26 when it rallied up to almost 29.30, you took profits. I'm gone. I mean, all oil and gas stuff gone. Here's a name, especially, here you go. Here's a name that went super bonkers and failed. Big green candle, outside reversal. Again, XOP had no reason to rise. You had this anomaly here. You had this open, you had outside reversal, and then you went higher. Keep that in mind. The big green candle right before a drop is possible. especially if you're thinking about XBI. Here we go. Here's your right shoulder potentially. I am still under the belief that XOP isn't about to get absolutely mashed. Probably goes back down to the 90s. I would not be surprised. Here you can see. Again, do you see how we always play games on the monthly? See how I just instantly jump out there? That should be your support zone if oil and gas are going higher. Let's end it with ExxonMobil because we thought this was going to bounce at 91 and it didn't. Scary. Absolute scary. Scary, scary, scary. Thought it would bounce here and it didn't. Gap below it. Game over. Leave it alone. Talked about what? Long term, I think this gets back into what? Retesting the back trend of the backside of the breakout. We talked about this area. See how this is? You see how the monthly is so powerful? If you're this far in the video, please start on the monthly. I reiterate that so much. Market has what? Memory. Talked about in the 90s, probably fails. All right. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you are doing well, making money, and you need to invest in things, think about real estate again. Why? In the 70s and 80s, interest rates went up to 18 to 20%. And guess what? We had a housing shortage. We had cost of rebuilding increasing constantly. You had stagflation. Well, guess what? Did really well with that cash. Housing, it doubled and tripled in most parts of the country. Inflation does that. It's the best hedge if you're not aware. Let's have a conversation. My job is to help you figure that out. Again, having the biggest trading account is not the goal here. It's to have a huge passive income stream from multiple avenues. And if you don't have any real estate in your portfolio, you were holding on to risky stocks only. You got issues. All right. Talk to you guys and gals later. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.